Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while, but I just moved into my new house and I'm building a new train layout. But before we get to that, I'm going to be doing a review of the newly released Atlas HO scale Amtrak AEM-7 in Phase 5. This item specifically is number 10001 674, road number 953, and says Amtrak is a registered service mark of the National Railroad Passenger Corporation. If you turn the box, it'll give you a breakdown of all the things you need to know of how to operate your locomotive, both DCC and DC operations. Please pause the video if you would like to read, otherwise we're going to continue. Now, a disclaimer for this review. Atlas is not paying me to do a review on this locomotive. I am the one who pre-ordered this item in July of 2017, and I only got it in March of 2018. And to prove that, here is my receipt. Very expensive, right? Well, everything I'm about to show you is worth it with this price. And as you can see, I bought it from Train World or Train Land, whichever one is your favorite, and they have the best prices out of everyone. Without further ado, let's get to the unboxing. As you can see, prototypical locomotives with realistic sounds. Factory equipped with Esu Loksound. So with Atlas packaging, you have a sleeve around the box where it says Masterline Locomotives, the gold Atlas logo, and the same slogan it says on the sleeve. The top comes off. Now what I like to do is put the bottom in the top to save space. And here is the locomotive itself. There is still more to unpack. So what you have here is another sleeve, kind of like Athearn trains. You have two windows on either side of the locomotive, a clear window and a white window. Clear one comes out. Foam piece comes out. White piece comes out. We move those aside. What comes with the locomotive is this piece right here. This is the fuel tank and the little bell that belongs to the locomotive. This will be put on the locomotive after we remove the locomotive from the packaging frame. So let's do that now. I have removed the screws, and now the locomotive will just lift out like this. Let's take the frame away. Please save the screws that came with the locomotive in case you need to transport it once again. Now, what usually happens is the bell, which is this piece right here, comes detached from the fuel tank. Luckily there's already a hole to install the bell into, and you really do not need super glue because it really squeezes right into the hole, and the fuel tank will do the same with the locomotive. Now here's a trick to install it. Put it down like this. Hold the AM7 really carefully. Lift it up like so, having the front wheels fly upwards, and that'll leave space to put on the fuel tank. See, and it should snap in there, no problem. Now this is a really detailed model, which means detail parts can fall off if not handled carefully, so please be careful handling your unit. Now without further ado, let's point out the notable details of this locomotive. You have your snowplow, your MU cables, coupler cut lever, the actual coupler, the electrical and heating ports for the passenger cars, freestanding grab irons, the Amtrak logo, very crisp window detail, windshield wipers, red marker lights, 1, 2, 3, the headlight, crew ladders here and here to access the locomotive. You have your antenna, you have your Mars light, which light up, as well as the number boards. You have your horn, you have your cab air conditioning unit, you have your pantograph, you have your electric box, you have fantastic door detail, 4 doors on this unit, 2 on each side, safety labeling around the doors and on the front of the locomotive. Now when I move this locomotive forward and move the camera straight, you can actually see a figure inside the locomotive. 4 figures are included, which means you can operate your locomotive in any direction you want without it looking awkward, because someone's always going to be at the controls of the locomotive rather than looking like the locomotive is going backwards. So as we look at the side of the locomotive, the logo once again, freestanding grab irons, steps for the crew, molded spring detail, the 953 numbering, and the paint is very crisp, it's not fuzzy. So overall, Atlas did a very good job with this model. Now without further ado, let's get into operation. Now when I picked up this locomotive from Trainland, they were kind enough to offer to test run the locomotive before I headed home. And I was not disappointed, and I'll show you why. I have already programmed the locomotive from its factory address 3 to its road number 953. Now let's look at the startup sequence. Now let's look at our functions. Headlight and number boards. Nice bright LED pair of lights and a calm light tone on the number boards. Looks very realistic. And that it is function F0. Now let's look at F1 bell. Horn. Very clear sounding horn. Again, Atlas did a very good job. Now we have coupler clink. Number 4 is diesel fans. Number 5 is dynamic brake. And number 6 is the marker lights up above. Now let's look at acceleration and deceleration. Speed step 1. Two. 3. 4. 5. Reverse. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Now let's see how many cars this lone locomotive can pull. As you can see, the locomotive has a good crawling speed of just 1 speed step, has a very fast acceleration rate, and can pull about 6 or 7 cars on its own, depending on what kind of passenger cars you have. Now there's one more test to be conducted, and it's the braking test, so let's see. Another feature included in this locomotive is gradual momentum braking, and we're going to take a look at that right now. Speed step 28. Braking, still going. And the locomotive comes to a gradual stop. Overall, this is a fantastic model made by Atlas, and the price that I showed you earlier is well worth it for the amount of detail and the prototypical sounds included in this locomotive. As you saw, the locomotive starts up gradually and decreases speed gradually, so meaning the locomotive doesn't come to an abrupt stop. That offers realism to any station stop, station arrival. Now I recommend this model to anyone modeling Amtrak, especially the electrified territories, because this will make your layout look very good. Before I end tonight's review, I want to show you the layout progress that I've made over the course of a couple days. So on the left hand side you see the steps, and on the right hand side you see where the layout will start. Right now I'm using Easy Track, and right on the track is a silver meter set that I worked so hard to collect on. And as we keep walking this way, you'll run into the bus yard. And I do collect buses as well as trains, just so I can make a decent looking bus yard. This is the one scene that's finished for now. And as we keep going, 35.5% curve. Keep going all around the wall, then we hit a bridge that I custom built. Still needs work, but it looks good. Trains travel over it very well. And as we get to this part of the layout, you can see the layout goes straight and then to the right. And in the corner of it is my desk. And here is my bed. So as you can see, I kind of have a house in the basement of my parents' new house. But it's going to work. And again, I'd like to see your comments down in the description box below. And thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.